Oh, good morning, YouTube world. I'm hitting the road off to work. It's really windy, guys. Windy, windy, windy. So if anyone feels like coming for a drive, the causeways we're going, the traffic way, not the free-flowing countryside way, the causeways could be absolutely feral. But if anyone feels like cruising along, there could be 1,000 YouTube creators live at the moment. I have no idea. But I thought we'd just go for a drive together. I love rain. I love the heat, but the wind, not a fan. Makes people ratty and moody, short tempered. Understandably, nobody likes getting hair in their face. Wearing a beanie this morning. It's actually a really weird day. It's warmer now than it's going to be when I get to town. Just going to pull over and just check I've switched Bluetooth off on my phone because it really does affect my audio. Yeah, she's off. Cool. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me. I've woken up with Coldplay's Fix You in my head. Oh, good morning, Ivor. How are you, Groover? Up bright and early? We'll get a nice little bit of sunrise colours in the sky. Look at that. Look at that. I do love that you guys get the panoramic views, but you also miss out on the tiny details sometimes. Hey, Val. Oh, you're painting your benches. Nice to see you. I was only just thinking about you this morning. I was like, I haven't seen Val around for a while. I hope she's doing okay. Thank you for popping in, gorgeous. Hello, Ruth. Aussie as fuck. G'day. Hey, Lisa54. It is stunning, isn't it? Safe travels. Thank you, Groover. We're just driving to the office, but I'm going the traffic way because last week I was amazed to see the difference in how the traffic flows now because of what they've done at the airport roundabout. It's blowing me away. Dan Cave, g'day. Just for you, Groover, we're going over the causeways. But enjoy this array of colours in the sky. I can only see where the sky is all pink and orange. You guys get such a different view to me, like all the white clouds at the top of the screen for you, they're not in my vision. Hey, Will. G'day, gorgeous. Got some nice groovers grooving on in. Isn't it pretty? It's really hard to sort of start a day when you see stuff like this and be grumpy, like, honestly. That's why I did that little video for everyone about sunrises because it just sets the tone and the colours, because it's winter, the colours are so pretty because the air is so much colder. But soon we'll be turning off and it'll be in my rear view mirror. You groovers won't get to see it. Don't forget to yell at me in caps, guys, in chat. Tori's 40 seconds. You've got to change it to the shitty kitty kitchen. Although people might be looking at it going, fuck, that person's been with Tori since number 42. 42 is the meaning of life, right? So exactly, it's hard to be grumpy in Tassie because it's like living in a storybook or in a painting. Like even not in the last week when I went over the causeways, but about a month, maybe 6 weeks ago, before I started going the country way, we were just crawling along the causeways, and this pelican like flew in and did a big loop and then landed on the water and sort of skimmed across the water for a little while and then came to a grinding halt. And within almost seconds, all the ripples and everything that the pelican had created disappeared. And this pelican was just sitting on this clear glass water, perfectly reflected. Hi, Trixie. Hey, Grandma Ducky. But I was just sitting there looking at it thinking, how could you have a bad day when that's one of the first things you've seen? Like, it just, you know, I mean, I feel lucky even without all the beautiful scenery and the pelicans landing on water and the sunrise at the moment. I feel very lucky that the first thing I see in the morning is Sunny, who's decided that she's always been my alarm clock since she moved in. Straight away, she's like, okay, 5. She's so soft. I just want to hold her and pat her all the time. She's the softest little floofy magoofy. And she is a fucking goofy. She lets me like pat her head twice and then she bites. And I love seeing her little face when I wake up. And I'm very calm when she bites me. But I'm thinking these are getting a bit more, they're going past the gentle love bite, playful love bite stage. This is a get the fuck up. Now, the reason I did get that bite was I did hit the snooze button twice this morning. I hit it for 10 minutes and then I hit it for 5 because my bed's just so beautiful. I don't want to get out of it. So she was kind of like, I think she upped the ante a bit. Oh, look at this sunrise. My God. Will, your message just dropped out on my screen. But thank you for dropping in, mate. So pretty. Even though I know when I get to work, there's going to be a mountain of emails, a huge list of things to do. I'm just going to take a deep breath and go, which of these things is the biggest brush fire? And that will be the first on my list. Yeah, I know. I am wondering if she's going to rip my face off. I don't think she will. She does adore me too. Like there's no denying the kid's a little bit besotted with me as well. It's pretty sweet. But one of the things I love about her the most, and I love a lot of things about her, and Biscuit was the same. They love people and they love visitors. And Biscuit, if a visitor came over, she'd sort of be waiting in the living room to receive the guests. Sunny runs up the hallway like a dog with her tail wagging to see who's at the door. It's so fucking cute. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, bit of a bingle. Holy shit, they had like I reckon a piece of wood came off the back of that truck. It hadn't pierced the windscreen of the car behind it, but it was resting across the bonnet and the windscreen was smashed, but it was still intact, if you know what I mean. See, I told you, wind. Fucking evil. There was probably either the wood wasn't secured. It was like a long plank of wood. It was wider than the car. But it's also very possible that the car that the plank of wood landed on was probably tailgating that truck. I doubt that it fell off the truck and bounced on the road and then bounced up onto a windscreen or the bonnet of a car. I think that's highly unlikely. I suspect that car was possibly a little bit close. It didn't look like anyone was hurt, so that's the main thing. But rubbernecking, yeah, we're rubbernecking on the way to work. Well, I had to drive past it. At least I didn't do the slow down and stare like so many people do. God, that annoys me. So, oh, good, we might get to see someone with their face ripped off. Let's all slow down. Look, kiddies, look, an accident. I'd be like, kids, look out the other way. There's a giraffe up on the hill. Human beings are so weird and so gross. But I thought we'd go this way so I can have a bit of a look at chat if we're crawly. I do like going the countryside way, but I'm a bit excited that the traditional way is getting faster. It's unbelievable that essentially splitting one big roundabout into two smaller ones on either side of it, you still sort of have to go to the big roundabout in either direction, but you can't do like a full loop on it now. It's kind of like only half the roundabout is being used, and then there's smaller roundabouts off the sides. So it's just completely split that, that, what's the word? Hi, Skyzy. What's the word? It's not like a deadlock. What kind of is? Just all the traffic in every direction is just kind of like sitting there. It's added flow, which, you still expect there to be a little bit of crawly when you get closer into the bridge and other arterial roads are joining in. You expect there to be a bit of congestion there. But even going over the bridge, it all flowed. Like, I think it's kind of spreading the traffic out a bit. I don't know. But it certainly took 20, 25 minutes off the trip. So I like it. Bottleneck, that's it. Yeah, and bottlenecks in all 5 access points too. Like, so yeah, it's I hope you guys will be able to see this. The sun is on a lot of hills. They're probably so far off in the distance on the screen for you, but we're sort of bathed in pink at the moment. It's very pretty. Why did I wake up with fix you in my head? Maybe I was fixing someone in my dream. I don't know. I don't remember my dreams. Hey, do you guys find people who tell you about their dreams to be a big fat bunch of bullshitters or boring dead shits? I feel like sometimes when people tell you a dream they've had, they're sort of using a weird dream to say something to somebody who's listening without pointing the finger at them. I wonder what it means. And then someone will go, oh, I've got a dream dictionary and it means there's a friend that you're upset with because they slept with your boyfriend. And the girl will be like, really? I don't think my boyfriend would do that to me. And then looking straight at the girl she knows is sleeping with her boyfriend. Or I reckon people just make bullshit dreams up just to be in a conversation. The sky's amazing, Trixie. It was so pretty down my way too because my house faces where the sun cometh up. Even driving out of there was gorgeous, but the clouds and everything are reflecting. But to the left, it's like, oh, it's getting pretty blue now. Actually, the sky. You remember your dreams in detail. Your husband doesn't. You rarely dream. Antidepressants made them stop. Oh, interesting. That's it kind of makes sense that they would do that because getting a really good night's sleep is so important, and to have a break from horrible dreams. What happened there? That old couple just decided to cross the road in front of a big truck, who kindly stopped, didn't run them over. It's because we're friendly down here. Ruth, you get weird dreams you don't tell anyone because people give you, well, they do. And because it's kind of like, I'm not denying. I see now this is a bit more banked up. The other day it was clear, right? But that's okay. I wanted to go this way so we could chat. Sticks, g'day. And if Dan comes back, I don't know if the causeways are going to be as dramatic. Because it was so windy, I thought, oh, the causeways, because when the water's blowing over them, it's fun. But yeah, I'm not denying that people dream. I just think people who talk incessantly about their dreams, like the extent of your conversations with them, it's usually someone in the office that you don't really work with, but they're in the building and you're making a cuppa and then you get, told about this wacky dream. And it's sort of like, oh, they gave you melatonin. I had my GP recommended, well, not my GP, a GP that I saw when my GP wasn't available, was like, get into melatonin and vitamin D. And then I did some reading and it was like, it's highly successful for women that are menopausal and have trouble sleeping. And I mean, I do have nights where I was going through a phase where I had nights where I might wake up and, um, you know, not be able to get back to sleep, but it wasn't happening that much. So I didn't get it. But he gave me a website to order it on because it's like 25% of the cost of if you pick it up as a prescription. Yeah, there's a lot of trucks and roadworks and things going on to the left, and people say things out loud to try and work them out for themselves. Well, they can say them out loud to them. They can do a soliloquy. Don't include me in it. I don't care. And sometimes I just go, wow, that was 3 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back. We do need vitamin D, and I have got vitamin D. But that's another trick for people that live in places where you're not getting a lot of sun. I mean, we do get sunlight. It's just we don't take advantage of it. You got to close your eyes, point your face in the direction of the sun for 15 minutes if possible. Um, oh, no, no, no. I was, wait. There you go. Look at me directing traffic. Yeah, UK and Tassie are very similar. Um, but if you can close your eyes and point your face at the sun for 15 minutes, because your eyelids are the thinnest part of your body and you can absorb vitamin D through your eyeballs, but you've got to do it every day. And if you can't get out and about, you can even sit in a window. If you get like a sunspot, a bit like how cats will find the sunspot and dogs find sunspots and sleep in them, find the sunspot in your house and just sit there cross-legged on the floor or grab a comfy chair, whatever. Oh, shit, you're allergic to the sun sticks. Far out. How does that work? Allergic to the sun. Wow. Oh, photosynthesis. Look, all vitamins are good, really. You can't really say that there's any vitamins that would be bad to take. Maybe there are. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I don't know. But as far as I'm aware, vitamins are generally pretty good, right? So the Causeway is not putting on a performance, unfortunately. Some days when it's really windy and the water is rough, the water is like blows over the causeway. It's not like a tidal wave or anything, but it's pretty dramatic. Oh, you've got lupus sticks. I was at uni with a girl. The first time I ever heard of lupus, I was at uni with an American girl who had lupus, and she had to spend. She was always really cold as well, but her curtains were always closed in her room, and she had a heater on full bore, and it was pretty uncomfortable. I got to say. I mean, for her it was comfortable, but for someone without lupus, and I really felt for her. She'd sort of emerged from her room at night, but I didn't know about the sun thing. It's got the causeway. Does it bring back memories for you, Dan? Although you wouldn't have gone over this causeway if you were going. Oh, hang on. Or were you? Or did you only get to Midway Point? I can't remember. I love this view for you guys because it's just so panoramic. Ah, when it's too hot, you get very sick. Yeah, I remember. I can't remember her name. I mean, this was 1987, so you know. But yeah, she was always struggling. I do remember that. She was always too hot or too cold. And isn't it stunning? Oh, you went to Sorrel. That's right, to Ingham's. That's right. There's a heap of survey pegs and ribbons and stuff in the block of land in front of Ingham's, like on the roadside that we just went past. I don't know what they're doing. I need to have a look. I used to be on a council for Sorrel, and I'd be able to tell you what it is, but I've got no idea. I think it might be something to do with the bypasses. They're putting in 2 bypasses. There's going to be one that will go sort of through over the causeways. In fact, they're putting in a new one, and it'll go across to sort of Penna that way. So for people going up the east coast, or probably not, or maybe Richmond. Some people might go this way. I don't know, but that's one. And then the one on the other side is to bypass Sorrel to head down to the peninsula, down to my joint. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, sorry if I offended all the dreamers in chat. I didn't mean to offend you. I just find it awkward when you get stuck in a conversation with someone about their dream. And I'm always a bit dubious. Sometimes I wonder if they're just trying to talk about something they want to talk about, and they're using the dream to kind of find a roundabout way to say something. And sometimes I think they make them up. I really do. Trust me, I've had batshit crazy dreams as well. But it's kind of, to me, telling someone about your dream is like just talking about the weather nonstop. You know, I think they're kind of the same thing, really. This is Midway Point, Dan. So we've got massive roadworks happening here. They're putting in the first of the bypasses. It's kind of like I think a 5-year project, but I like roadworks. People complain, you got stuck in roadworks and I'm delayed. There's so much technology now that lets you know there's roadworks happening. Radio stations do roadworks updates. They put signs up weeks in advance to tell you to expect delays. Add 15 minutes to your trip or 30 minutes to your trip. And people still end up being delayed and complaining about it. It's like you can't fucking spoon feed people to the nth degree. Like at some point, people's brains have to kick in and they go, oh, that sign said add 20 minutes to my trip. Okay, well, I'll be leaving at 7:10 now, not 7:30. And roadworks happen to improve roads. So when it's finished, the roads are amazing, but you don't see many people going, Oh my God, the roads are amazing now. It's like restaurants, you know, people complain about a bad meal, but not that many people compliment the chef. And the other thing I love is Roadworks employs so many people. And I love that too. But then I like change. I love change. I get very complacent in if things are too familiar or too routine. I'm a bit odd in that respect. I remember years ago, one of the law firms I was working at, we used to go and see, at conferences, you'd see motivational speakers and stuff. And this dude, Zig Ziglar, I'm sure some of you have heard of him. We used to have like in-house sort of mini conferences, and we'd watch all this Zig Ziglar stuff, and we'd all be fired up and excited and yeah, let's go kind of bullshit. Um, but I don't know if it was Zig Ziglar, but it was one of those ilk. Talked a lot about change and human beings resisting change and blah, blah, blah. And we all got given a copy of this person's book. It was so weird because I opened it up to read it, and it was almost like it was so general. It just said that every human being hates change. Yeah, roadworks happen. Roadworks matter. I love roadworks. Oh, it's getting a bit stormy on this causeway. This one looks a bit more dramatic. The water on this side is dark grey, but it's still not rough enough to be throwing water across the road. Damn it. I was bang up for some tidal wave action. It's not tidal waves, but I remember reading this book about change and how look, we've gone from like a pink oasis, now it's a blue one. All the colours of the morning. Yeah, this book was saying, that we're all human beings resist change and how it fucks you up and how to, approach change with positivity and excitement. But I was just reading, going, this book is not for me. I'm all for the change. I like the change. Not the menopause change, that the change can go fuck itself. I'm assuming with lowercase, you guys are just chatting amongst yourselves, which is super cool. But I'm sorry if I'm missing anything in chat because I have no chance of reading lowercase at all. But I also can't read it at the moment while I'm fagging along either. But I'm sure there's just a lot of love being thrown around in the chat. That's usually the way to go in our channel. Our community's pretty loving, pretty supportive. Oh, the whole point of my topic, though, today, the winds of change. Not one of my favourite songs, but a fairly well-known expression, the winds of change. Do you think the YouTube community, the greater YouTube community, is capable of change? I touched on this in my unboxing live yesterday and felt like I should repeat it because I was talking and actually making sense, and I surprised myself. But some of you are involved in the true crime community. Some of you are in the drama community. Some of you are from the extreme knitting community. But I was pretty much saying yesterday, after catching up on some YouTube shit, that another person had been doxxed. Tiffany Marie's son was being doxxed. And a lot of channels were talking about it. And for the most part, those opposing sides were still doing the opposing side kind of shit. Like the people that don't like Tiffany Marie were talking about it, even though the girls that did it apologised. And I didn't see their apology. I don't know. I still think apologies for doxing people are kind of pointless because you just shouldn't fucking do it, right? That's not one of those it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission situations. So they shouldn't have done it anyway. But I just found it interesting that the people that are technically, I guess, on the side that don't like Tiffany Marie were going live about it, but talking about all these other creators who've doxed people and all these other people who've been doxed, and it really annoyed me. Pardon me. Hang on, I'll have a swig of my coffee. It really annoyed me, and it reminded me of how a lot of channels handled the Diane's channel St. Jude shit. Just not focusing on that one issue and saying that should not have happened to her. That's disgusting that it was done. As a community, doesn't matter what side you're on, this is bullshit. That person, has really fucked up. I still care about him or whatever you want to say, but on this occasion, you were a fuckwit. The end. But no, just like they did with Diane's channel. Oh, well, other people have ripped off people and, oh, now everyone's trying to find out who she is and, just deflect. Just admit that someone you care about or someone you like on YouTube fucked up, and also be a bigger person and admit that someone that you don't like on YouTube had their child doxxed, and as a community, we should all collectively say, this is not on. And there was a creator on the other side, like the anti-Tiffany Marie side or whatever, the side that she's not on, who was cool enough to say that. And kudos to them. But how exhausting that once again channels can't just look at it, take their emotions and their feelings out of the equation and just say, we as a greater community will not tolerate this sort of bullshit. You fucked up. The end. Do you think that people are ever going to be able to put down their bloody, I think thinking of Survivor, it's like people all have those, buffs. Shitty happens in the community that we're in YouTube. As a group, we could all just say that is not acceptable behaviour. Just the way a community works in the real world. That's exactly how societies work. That's why there are crimes. Society has decided that taking somebody's life is not a good thing. And it's a crime, and if you do it, off to jail you go for the rest of your life. It was really refreshing to hear that one creator throwing her buff into the bonfire and admitting or just acknowledging that it was shitty behaviour. That person shouldn't, or those people shouldn't have done it. I don't know what her view was on their apology, but to just be able to put her emotions to one side and say, this shit is fucked up and it's got to stop. And I think as a community, we all should be like that creator. Or even me saying this stuff. I think if you're a sub in a channel that is constantly deflecting from the issue at hand by once again naming people they don't like who've done shifty stuff as well, we should be speaking up and saying, stop deflecting. This happened. It was fucked up. The people that did it know it was fucked up. That's why they apologised. And like I said, I don't know the extent of the apology, and I think an apology is sort of pointless when you do something like that, because it's not like we all don't know that doxing is fucked up, right? Sorry I can't read chat, Groovers. I'm on the highway at the moment. If there's a bit of traffic banked up soon, I'll be able to. But hello to everyone dropping in and Sweet dreams to anyone who's heading to bed. My drives is really just my drive therapy lives. It's really just an opportunity for you guys to all get together and catch up on each other's news. Truly, like I'm happy to do like a little whiny monologue. No, I don't do monologues. Monologues is something that someone else has written. It's 90 along here now, dude, so you can get off my ass. Thank you, good sir. Yeah, I sort of feel like for things to change, there have to be agitators and people have to actually speak up. And I was talking about this on my live yesterday. Like, I used to not want to speak up in chats or put an opposing opinion to the creator or whatever for fear of being blocked. And then it just dawned on me that who gives a fuck? If they're that narrow minded that they aren't prepared to listen to other points of view, I really don't want to be in that channel anyway. So um, I'm happy to buy sticks. Thanks for dropping in, sticks. I know you were saying a lot of stuff in chat, but I wasn't able to read it all. But lovely to see you. But yeah, I just kind of feel like as subscribers, we all see stuff on YouTube that we think is pretty shitty, but we should speak up too because people just don't. These echo chamber channels, I mean, the easiest thing really is just to, I guess, just unsubscribe and don't watch them. But I like watching people evolve and grow and learn and change their opinions and be open-minded and have lively discussions. That's how that's what I'm attracted to in the real world with my friends and the people that I spend time with. And I like seeing us all develop and evolve as human beings. And I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit optimistic thinking that YouTube could become similar because, I mean, there are people that have grown and changed that I subscribed to back in 2018 that are very different. A lot of them have gone down the drain, but there are some that have also grown as people. And then there are others, it's just like Groundhog Day. 3 years later, they're still doing the same old shit. But yeah, I think as subscribers, we've got nothing to lose. Like, if it's a channel that you're probably going to unsubscribe from anyway, if you even subscribe, you've got nothing to lose. And if you do get timed out or blocked, hopefully one person reads your comment before that happens. But, for things to change, there has to be wind. Like, I'm using that as a metaphor, obviously, but, there's got to be movement. Because the echo chamber chats that just all sit there agreeing with the creator and aren't questioning things or aren't saying, like, there was one channel that I listened to and they can never go live without bringing another creator up. Even though this creator had absolutely nothing to do with the doxing, nothing to do with, like, she wasn't the person doxed, she wasn't the person or the people that did the doxing. Suddenly they're talking about her again. Surprise, surprise. It's like, if I'd been able to, it was a replay, but if I'd been able to, if it was live, I would have said, and here you go again. You still bring this person up when it's got absolutely nothing to do with them. Deflect, deflect, deflect. How about you just admit the person you like fucked up? And as a community, we shouldn't tolerate doxing. The end. Oh, thank you, Scout. Hi, Scout. I've been neglecting Sunny's. I feel bad when you post that because I'm like, shit, I try. She's hard to get photos of because she's such an active little thing. I did get a really cute photo of her I seem to be getting photos of her now destroying the furniture. Her Instagram is, Sunny the Boho Beach Cat. I should change the name to Sunny the Destroyer or Sunny the Shredder. If she wasn't so damn fucking gorgeous, and I don't tell her off either, it's partly my fault, but I don't want to, rescue this 9-year-old girl, and if that's her thing, but I am contemplating her getting her nails clipped. Not removed, but she might need a bit of a trim, babe. Sharp as. At least she's not shredding me, right? I'd rather her shred the furniture than my legs, like Biscuit did. Middle of summer, I get Biscuit and I'm walking around in knee-high boots because she's climbing my legs like they're trees. But yeah, so that was my point yesterday was I think there are some things as a massive community on YouTube, and I'm incorporating every community, whether it's tarot reading or cooking or true crime or drama or whatever it might be. Shake a water bottle with coins in it and say no to scratching. I just don't want to scare her. I don't want her to become scared of me. Because I think she had an incredibly loving human. There's no doubt about it before me because she's so fit and healthy and, this beautiful coat and all the rest of it. But I think that her human was quite strict with her. Like she wasn't allowed on the bed. And so, there's little things that now Sunny gets up on the bed and, she was asleep on my bed this morning when I woke up and I love that. I love that we've built that trust and that she knows she can get on my bed. It's a big bed. There's plenty of room for all the floofage. But I don't want her to become scared of me. And she's a lot more sensitive than Biscuit. Biscuit was like a bulldog. She was fucking Biscuit and she was perfectly fine the way she was and fucked a lot of years. That was Biscuit. This one is very sensitive and I don't want her to be scared of me. Yes, as a parent, I should probably be, well, not a parent, as a housemate, I should probably be disciplining her when she's shredding. But pulling herself along the base of my bed, Biscuit did the same thing, and I think it's one of the cutest things you can ever see. Is a cat upside down, dragging themselves along the floorboards. Like, it makes me laugh. You get that? Yeah, I just don't want her to be scared of me. It's only been, what, March, April, May. So it's been 3 months, or June. So we're heading into our 4th month soon. Yeah, there's been so much trust building. Like, there was no way in hell she would let me pick her up when I first brought her home, but she will actually quite happily let me hold her and she purrs and yeah, I do spoil it rotten. I do. I love my lamp, Scout. I put some pictures up on my community page. I love them. The glow in my room is this beautiful sort of honey brown color. They're nowhere near as. I didn't think my other bedside lamps were glary at all, but now that I've got these ones, I'm like, wow. It was almost like I had spotlights in my room. They weren't like a high voltage bulb or anything, but the difference in the light is unbelievable. And they're very, very pretty. My room looks very, very beachy now. It already did look beachy, but it just had sort of these wooden colonial looking lamps that didn't quite, it's not that they didn't work, but it's next level beachy now. I love them. They're very pretty. And they cast a gorgeous pattern on the walls and the ceiling too, because it's loose rattan and there's little holes and stuff. They're beautiful. I reckon Sunny would be on my bed. She slept on my bed all day yesterday. I went to the kitchen to make lunch in the middle of the day, and she appeared, as she always does. But other than that brief moment of her coming out to forage, she spent the whole day on my bed. So, as usual, now that I've got sunny pants, as to when she's having dinner, I run down to my room and make the bed. I love getting into a made bed. I have to get into a made bed. I can't get into an unmade bed. So, like, even if she was on my bed till I went to bed and she got off for a millisecond, I make my bed. Exactly, Ozzy. Yep, she would be definitely back on my bed. She knows what side her bread is buttered on. Oh, now, guys, I also mentioned this in my live yesterday, but it was a fairly small little unboxing that I did at a really weird time of the day. I've overruled for any of you who watched me kitchen, I've overruled the dinner choice. It is Sunny's bed. It's kind of, I'm back, by the way. The reception drops in and out a bit these days. I'm just seeing if I can get into the other lane. Oh, I could have then. Damn it. There's little gaps and then they accelerate suddenly. I'll just stay in this lane. So, yeah, shitty kitty kitty. I'm overruling the choices. Exactly, Ruth. No salad. Look, I love salad. I do. But it's Tasmanian winter and we want stodgy, carbohydrate rich, yummy, wintry food. Like I live on salad in summer. The great thing about winter is carbs. And well, not just carbs, but hearty food. But the other thing is, I've got a kick ass barbecue. If I'm going to ever make a steak or whatever, I do it on the barbecue because it does it so beautifully. And I'm not standing out on my deck in the dark to cook a fucking steak. Secondly, I probably eat beef once every 3 or 4 months. So the fact that it was a pepper steak, and for me to eat beef, it's got to be at a high-end restaurant that does beef to perfection. And if it's part of like a degustation menu or something, but if I go to a restaurant for dinner or to the pub for dinner, I never, ever, ever order steak. Ever. Never. But also, when I did the salmon the other day, I did get 2 meals out of it. So I had it for dinner again last night and it was divine. But the whole point of me cooking on Sundays is to cook up food that I've got a couple of things in the fridge to get me through. Go, go, go. Um, it's a New Zealander driving that car. That explains a lot. No, I'm kidding. Um, She had her blinker on, but she didn't move. I was like, I'm letting you in, biatch. So, yeah, I want to do beautiful, hot, hearty food. And, yeah, I usually make like a curry. And any slow cooking that I'm doing little videos. There's 3 videos lined up to be uploaded to the Shitty Kitty Kitchen this week. I've been really busy. In fact, I think one of them will go up today. So subscribe to the Shitty Kitty Kitchen, because from the 1st of July, all cooking stuff will be happening over on that channel. But a little sneak peek, there's 2 videos that I've made, and it must be a live or something I'm uploading. But there's a taco soup that I made on Saturday, a slow cooker one. There's a breakfast bowl that I really love. It's just to inspire you guys to think outside the box a little bit and consider doing breakfast bowls. I made one with teff flakes, but you can use oats or quinoa, whatever you want to use. But yeah, I want the winter food, but I also want quantities that I can portion up and put some in the freezer, but also have some in the fridge. So when I get home, it's dark, it's cold, and I don't want to start cooking from scratch. So the steak, it was like, well, I'm not going to eat reheated steak. I'm not going to eat it 2 nights in a row. But the other reason too was one of the ingredients, and I can source them really easily here, but it needs green peppercorns. And they come in like little tiny tins in brine, and they're usually French. And you can get them in your sort of gourmet grocers, and even some supermarkets have them. But it's, the whole point of my channel is to do seasonal, easy to source, local products. I don't want to be cooking a dish that you're going to go broke just finding this friggin' tin of green peppercorns, and on top of that, buying steak, because steak isn't cheap either. Thank you for dropping the link, Ruth. So yeah, I've overruled it. But also, I mentioned on my channel a couple of weeks ago, and one of my subscribers said, please make it. It sounds amazing. Our supermarkets do monthly free magazines that have shitloads of recipes in them. And we've got MasterChef happening in Australia at the moment. And one of our supermarket chains, Coles, puts out these really fantastic free magazines with heaps of recipes in. And I've made quite a lot of stuff out of those magazines before, and they're really good family cooking and good, like, low budget stuff. But because it's MasterChef at the moment, the MasterChefs are writing, or the contestants and the judges are writing recipes that are in these books, in this magazine. And I saw a recipe for macaroni cheese, which, I mean, hello, is that not a yummy wintry dish? But it's got beer in it. It's mac cheese with a twist. It's got beer and it's got crispy fried sage on top. And I was like, hell to the yes. That's winter food. Let's make that. Not buying a piece of steak and some green peppercorns and blowing my food budget for the month. So that's what we'll be doing on Sunday. And I'm looking at the moment for some kind of, not a dessert, but I'm going to also make like some healthy snacks, because I like food prepping on the weekends. And if I've got a big pot of mac cheese, hello, when I get home every night, g'day, or take it to lunch. Slow cookers are fantastic. So, yeah, on the weekends I usually make like a curry, and I'll do a video, because slow cooking, you can't really go live and then sit in the kitchen for 6 or 8 hours talking. But I'll do a curry, and I'm going to do mac and cheese with beer and crispy sage. So for those of you who are desperately hanging out to learn how to make an apple and celery salad, you're just going to have to wait. I've got heaps of books too. Like, I want to mix it up a little. I want to cook from lots of different books. But what I really want to do is encourage people to cook and make yummy stuff. And steak and chips and a fucking salad in the middle of winter, for one, doesn't excite me at all. So I'm Marie Kondoing my life when it comes to what we cook. Oh, Scat, you're amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I have been uploading episodes of the Soft 6. Then I'm going to do the Soft 34. And at some point in the near future, I'm going to also start doing new episodes of my podcast on Smooth Criminal. I was going to try and do it this month, but we've got Dark Mofo happening very soon, which is a fabulous winter festival. And I've got family and friends coming from interstate for that. In fact, you'll see now that we're going up the main drag, you'll see red flags with crosses on them. That's Dark Mofo. That's promoting Dark Mofo. It's so much fun. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of people visiting and stuff, and I'm just not going to have time. All the buildings, you can see those red lights on the building. They all light up red, and the whole city is just bathed in red. It's gorgeous. I'll do a few lives from some of the things that I do, but there's no point me even trying to do the podcast in June. I'm going to be out and about a lot. Lots of socialising, lots of dining out, lots of hanging out with friends and family. It's a fun time. Uh-oh. See, this car in front of me is annoying because there's a bottleneck, right? They're all stuck there. Like, just go up and come back around the way I do. All right, we've got a break in the traffic. Oh, I saw Sandra recheck with her spaghetti sauce. The 5 quarts or something. That's like 20 litres, I think. I think a quart is 4 litres. Yeah, but hers is like a big. I think the pot she uses is not that there's anything wrong with it, but I think that's just a slow cooker, whereas mine's a fast and slow. Like, it's a pressure cooker and slow cooker in one. But yeah, I saw her bagging up all the bags into a box to go in the freezer. Yeah, the mac and cheese looks amazing. So I want to do more sort of, while it's winter, I want to do more winter food, comfort food. And the fact that these Coles magazines are free, we'll do some recipes out of that, and then we'll move on. The next cook I want to do is Valley Little, who is one of my favourite Australian chefs. She died, unfortunately, but I've got a lot of her books. But she's a bit like Donna Hay, just does a lot of really amazing food using very few ingredients and, super easy to make. Well, it makes sense to make massive batches of that tomato, the spaghetti sauce. I thought it was kind of weird, though, how she had, like, whole sausages and bits of sausage and And then some she just, I mean, she's good on her for splitting it, but some of it would just be the tomato without the meat. Others that just have the whole sausages. Others that just have the bits of meat in it. So we'll probably cook out of the Coles mag for a few weeks because I think it's fun to mix it up a little bit and cook the book. And I have got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books. I've got Donna. I was a subscriber to Donna Hayes magazine for years, and she did these incredible seasonal ones. So like there's like a winter one, and I was thinking, oh, we could do, cook that from cover to cover. Don't have to cook everything, but do that for a few weeks. You don't like the licorice tea? Oh, did you listen to my Traces of Sleepy Faces? I love licorice tea. Licorice tea and cinnamon tea are my favourite teas in the herbals. Although I've got a cocoa and chili one that I really like too. And the three ginger one is yum. But I also just like, you know, your black leaf, your loose leaf black tea with some milk. That's yum. I like a cup of tea. I drink lots of tea, but I try to mix it up. I try to do herbal, like two herbals, and then I treat myself to a milky one. And I love Japanese tea ceremonies, so gorgeous. I'm trying to put a bit of variety on the Shitty Kitty Kitchen too, but I'll never cook pork and I'll never cook eggplant and I'll never make stuff. Well, I make things that have got olives in the recipe, but I'll substitute with caper berries because I do not like a cooked olive. Yuck. So there are some types of cuisine, and I do vegetarian, or I give like the taco soup. I give the vegetarian alternative, like what you need to do if you're a vegetarian. Oh, a masala chai, yum. I love cardamom. But if people don't like that sort of licorice flavour, if any recipe calls for cardamom, swap it out with cinnamon. There's a little trick for you, a little tip. We had a massive cardamom shortage in Australia last year. My friend who makes chai tea commercially wasn't able to get cardamom, and it's in her recipe. Um, so she was like, "If you see cardamom pods anywhere, grab them, grab them." Look at that sky. Are you a bit behind, or there ain't no sky in this car park? Oh, cross. Interesting. Oh, you're behind. I don't like this car in front of me that just randomly starts reversing for no particular reason. Well, the fact that they're a bad driver is why they have to suddenly reverse, but don't take me out because you can't drive. There might be a park down the end. No one ever takes these little spots, and I do because I like them. Probably because you have to walk the furthest if you park in these spots. Arab coffee with cardamom. Yum. All right, Groovers, we're here. We have arrived. I think I'm just going to take everything. I didn't split my, because I've grabbed my satchel that has my work computer in it, but I haven't taken time to move things over from my basket into it. You want bubble wrap for your car? What, because you bump into stuff or? I hope you all have a lovely day. Thanks for hanging out. Have a little think about, YouTube and speaking up and just saying, no, this is bullshit. Doesn't matter who it's happening to. It shouldn't be happening at all. If a channel blocks you for saying something like that, then book them. We can bring about change if we speak up, I reckon. And the channels that aren't interested in listening to other points of view and perspectives probably aren't worth subscribing to anyway. People tap. Oh, people tap it with shopping carts. Yeah. If that was here, I would think insurance scammer. Huh? What you talking about, Ruth? Thanks, Trixie. You have a good day too, or good night. Yeah, let's start a movement on YouTube. Let's start acting like societies do and communities do and speak up. Because there were people on the other side who were able to just say, I will not tolerate this behavior. Doesn't matter who's doing it, it's not on. And if more people speak up, because I know that we all feel that way, whether it brings about change or not, but it's kind of sad to see how little people grow and have grown since 2018. It's, it's by discussing things with people and getting involved in little debates and conversations and so on that change comes about. And it's sad that there are some channels that have just become these echo chambers and all of their chatter rooting them on thinking it's fabulous. And it's like, there's no self-awareness. You people are just robots. Um, but yeah, speak up if you see things. And if, like I said, if you get blocked, well, you tried. Hopefully someone saw your comment before it got erased along with you. But, I actually think it's the cool kids that are able to think independently. Hi, Nell. Thank you. Yeah, enough. Thank you, Scout. Thanks, mods, for helping out with links and so on to my various channels. Really appreciate it. Have a beautiful day, everyone. I know that I've got a fairly busy day at work today. Nazi, g'day, Groover. How you doing, Raven? Yeah, I've got a busy day ahead. I'm just putting on some lips. I got this 2-in-1 lippy. It's great. It's like a lip liner. At one end, and then it's like a lip stick, I guess, but it's pretty mellow. Like it's a very neutral color. On the other end, and it must have been in a subscription box I got ages ago because I've got like this little container of makeup-y things that, you know, I'll use when things have run out. And I don't think it's an overly expensive one. Double-ended lipstick and liner Nude Rush by MCO Beauty. And I fucking love it. Like it's moisturizing. And it's a really nice color. Thought I'd share that with you. So yeah, have a great whatever you're up to, night, day, morning, afternoon. Be kind out there. Speak up when you see things that you think are shite. We can improve this community. If we're all going to muck around in it and have fun in it, that's one thing, but we can also make it even better. You're doing good? Awesome sauce. But I'll see you all again very soon. And until then, stay groovy, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me. Love you guys.